they know that we're going to come every single year. We're young and they're getting old, so they know we're coming every single year. In the beginning, we're growing a base. We had a base, and we just kept building and building and building, and more guys got on the train, and we were able to, create something like this and, keep building this dynasty and this program up.
Thompson jumper, got it.
Klay Thompson celebrating over the body of Dillon Brooks.
Man, they was talking about dynasty and all that. You can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before. I don't think people realize how hard that is, the commitment and sacrifice it takes. I mean, you gotta sacrifice your body. And I thought that was premature talk, to even mention that word. But they bring the best out of us, and I think we do the same. And even though you don't like them, you got to respect them because they're a threat.
The Memphis Grizzlies have seriously got to stop trash-talking the Golden State Warriors, because it's just getting absolutely silly at this point. And if their trash talk isn't enough, just look at the antics Ja Morant is putting up. I mean, most players go from the hood to the NBA, but Ja is doing everything he can to go from the NBA to the hood. I think you're doing it a bit backwards, buddy. Anyways, I'm sure you guys know this, but the Warriors pretty much own the Grizzlies so far this year by winning their season matchup. And if we're going to look back and consider their playoff matchup last season, the Grizzlies have only managed to squeeze 2 victories out of 8 matchups against the Warriors. So I don't really see where Dillon Brooks and his buddies are getting the balls to brag and say such ridiculous things against the Warriors. And if this is not enough, it seems like Brooks is lighting up the fire once again when he recently released yet another statement saying how he despises Draymond Green and the rest of the Warriors. And with this in mind, I think Dillon Brooks has just put a huge target on the entire Grizzlies' back thanks to his loud mouth. And the Warriors? Well, they're definitely going to go for his head in their next matchup for sure. Anyways, aside from Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. is also another guy who once trolled and took a shot at the Warriors following a win against them last season when he put this out on Twitter. Now, after the Dubs defeated the Grizzlies in the semis and eventually won the chip, Klay Thompson didn't forget what JJJ tweeted, and he clapped back at him by saying,
"There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum. I had to watch that. I'm just like, this freaking clown. Okay. Sorry. That memory just popped up. You're going to mock us? Like, you ain't ever been there before, bro. We've been there. We know what it takes. So to be here again, hold that."
This young and brash Grizzlies team certainly knows how to talk smack, but the problem with these kids is that they don't know how to back it up. Here's a clear example of what I'm talking about. See, after getting this and one, Ja Morant reacted as if they already won the ball game, and he even disrespected Kuminga by taunting him afterward. But as you can see, this incident took place with 2 quarters still left in the game, and when Ja had the opportunity to close out the game, well, he didn't get the job done, cause he just choked badly on the back-to-back plays.
Morant on the drive, scoop layup, no good, it's over.
Anyways, here's another incident where the Grizzlies took things a bit too far. See, here's Dillon Brooks matched up against Steph Curry. Now, Steph was able to keep in step with him in this play, and he even blocked his shot. And how did Brooks respond? Well, he just threw Curry to the ground out of frustration, nearly injuring him in the process. Now, of course, Steph wouldn't take this lying down, no pun intended. And so here's what he did to Brooks the next time he saw him on the floor. And after embarrassing him like that, Steph would teach them a thing or two about respect by destroying the Grizzlies and sending them packing for good.
Curry, a deep one. Rebound, why not? Thompson back to Curry. Curry a 3, he got it!
With the way they're carrying themselves on the court, the Grizzlies have quickly gained a reputation for being the most hated team in the league right now. And according to ESPN analyst Michael Wilbon, here's one of the major reasons why.
They are so unbelievably immature. And Jalen and Greeny and Steven, I thought Memphis might have gotten past this point last year with the matchup against Golden State. You know, you watch a team get past you and win a championship. You have a little bit of your first heartbreak in the playoffs, which I find a necessary ingredient. And yet they seem more immature this year than they were last year.
Now, aside from Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. also loves to get under the Warriors' skin, whether it's about trolling them on Twitter or doing something like this. Here you can see that Jordan Poole gets tangled up with Brooks, and after he backed away, Jackson Jr. burst onto the scene, apparently trying to dap up his former high school roommate. But turns out JJJ slapped the ball away from him as if he was instigating something. Now, this incident happened in Game 6 of their playoff matchups last year, and since then, JP3 still remembers what JJJ did to him. And so, in their Christmas matchup this season, Poole just went out for revenge. JP3 gave Jackson Jr. a gift that he will not forget that evening by dropping 32 points while going 11 for 25 from the field and 3 for 10 from beyond the arc. And what's huge about this statement win is that JP3 single-handedly carried them to a win without both Steph and Clay in the lineup. Anyways, before I almost forget, back in their heated playoff matchup last year, Ja Morant also dared to say some words directed towards Steph after their Game 2 win, which went something like this.
Grit, grind, and heart to tie this series at one apiece.
Now, I get that he's probably just pumped up when he said that, because after all, they tied the series, and along with that, he could have just gotten carried away with his swag and energy, which is pretty understandable because he was just a 22-year-old kid by the time he said those words. But see, despite that, Morant should have known better, because this is Steph Curry we're talking about here. And if you disrespect Steph, well, it's going to get personal. And in Game 3, the chef brought his A game and destroyed the Grizzlies from all angles. I mean, check this out. Curry passed the ball to Looney in this play. Now, once he did that, he quickly relocated to the wing, and after giving Clark a pump fake, Curry splashed this one right at the bottom of the net. Then, after toying with JJJ on this play, Curry then slashes inside to finish this one through contact. And in this last play, Curry uses his footwork and some trickery to fool his defenders before converting this tough jelly. When the final buzzer sounded, Curry racked up a total of 30 points along with 6 assists to take Game 3. And with that strong showing, Steph subtly let John know that it was never a good idea to mess around with his business in the first place. Cause if you do, then this is what's gonna happen to you. Anyways, the art of trash talking has been in the league for years now, and great players like MJ, Larry Bird, and Gary Payton even encouraged trash talking to spice things up on the floor. To me, trash talking makes the game more entertaining as long as it doesn't go overboard to crazy levels. And I think trash talking kinda tests out the limit on how tough a player is mentally. Now, when it comes to the Grizzlies, I think the biggest problem with their trash talk game is that they cannot back it up. And aside from this, they also chose the wrong team to bully. Cause the Warriors are already an accomplished team, backed with multiple championships, while they, on the other hand, are acting like arrogant, bratty kids who already seem to know everything. But in reality, they're just a team that won 2 playoff series that didn't even reach the conference finals. Whether this is just all mind games or whatnot, the Grizzlies still have plenty of catching up to do if they want to beat or at least be on the same level as the Warriors. And being cocky and immature isn't going to speed up that process.